What's up, world? Welcome to episode 2 of the Director Brazil podcast. I'm Brazil, and I'm excited to bring you this episode. This is episode number 2, featuring my boy, Josh Killacky. Now, if you don't know who Josh is, he is not only a viral internet sensation through YouTube and Instagram, but he is a professional dancer, professional choreographer, dance teacher, all-around hustler, and now just got signed to his very own record deal as a recording artist. And let me tell you, this guy is a really, really hard worker. He's very focused. He's very dedicated. He's had to sacrifice a lot to put himself in the position that he's in now. And that's why I wanted to bring this podcast to you. I wanted to share, what it takes to make it happen. A lot of people think that it's just easy. You just post stuff on Instagram and then one day you become a success overnight. And that's not the case. He's been grinding for over 10 years to make this happen. Okay, so let's dive into it. Here is episode 2 with Josh Killacky. Good? All right.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What's up, dude?
What's up? We're here.
Happy Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You finally put some pants on.
It's hump day, yeah. Before this shoot, I had shorts on that looked like boxers, and you could see all up in that inner thigh.
Yeah, and then we
doesn't
decided
have
to do
hair on it.
the podcast pro pants this time.
Yeah, I just figured I feel like give him a little show, too. Talk a little bit, give him a little show. It's, like, entertaining and just, like,
clickbait.
Yeah, of course, clickbait. Josh does interview in boxers, and you could see a little vibe.
Dude, so we're here in your backyard.
Yes.
Of your new spot, man. Tell me about it. How happy are you to
Yeah.
finally have your own place like this?
I'm the happiest I've ever been right now. I've never lived in a house, which is really cool. Just growing up with divorced parents, not the wealthiest family. Always had an apartment growing up. So just being able to finally be in a place where I could, like, give back to my family whenever, like, family comes in town, everyone stays with me, and I have, like, a niece, a nephew, 2 sisters, 2 brothers. So, like, when everyone comes in town, it feels like our own, like, reality show for a second because every room finally gets used up, So
that's dope, man.
It's great, man. I really wake up feeling blessed. Really wake up in just like all right, well, the rent is a lot, so let's go do stuff.
It motivates you to get shit done.
I'll be like, okay. I need to get another lane of income to support myself with this.
Sometimes
bill.
I feel like you need that.
Yeah.
I think when we're too comfortable, we're not really pushed to do a lot more.
Totally.
Like I have friends who sometimes were struggling for money, and then they
Mhm.
got a girl pregnant.
Yeah.
And then they ended up having to make
And-
twice as much money because now they had a reason to make that money.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, totally. And then sometimes I'll be like, even shopping, be like, do I really want this? But it's like another bill. But I'm like, okay, I'll figure a way to make it back.
I do the same thing.
That's
Where it's like you spend the
hilarious.
money and you do a deal with yourself. You say, okay, cool. If I get this really cool thing that I want right now,
Yeah, give reasons for your. That's
so
a
I'm
funny
gonna go
thought.
extra hard on that job next week.
Right.
Try
You
landing
have
twice
to.
as more.
Because you have to. It forces you to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So, yeah, man. Life's good. I'm finally in a place where I'm working towards my long-term goal, as you know.
What is your long-term goal?
So my long-term goal, for those of you guys who don't know, is I want to be a touring music artist. I want to be able to direct my shows. I want to be able to choreograph my shows. I want to perform and have my own dancers and own concepts. And that's my long-term goal. And I'm finally, for those of you guys who don't know, I signed my first recording agreement with World of Dance.
That's amazing,
Surprise!
man. World of Dance, the same company that does the show and
World of
everything?
Dance, the same company that does the show. They're venturing into more of the music lane and dancers that they believe that have another ability to sing and perform and whatnot. They want to help pretty much be the tools for you to get to that next level. So
That's amazing.
I'm one of the first that they're really putting in time and energy with, and it's so awesome because we made that video together that got them, like, interested.
Serpent video.
Serpent, for those of you guys who don't know, Serpent music video.
That was a mission making that video.
It was a mission. We had
From finding
2
the real
days of
snake
shoots. Oh, yeah.
to at the end of the first day, one of the cards I didn't capture properly, so we ended up losing like a major scene of the video.
The only dance scene.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
only thing that, like, sells me as an artist. We just didn't have.
I remember we were at the editing session. We were like, wait a minute, where's that clip? And like literally the entire scene was just missing from all the footage.
Tears started coming out. We're like,
Yeah,
how do we
I was
do
like,
this?
okay, I'm gonna have to
We
pay
had
and
our-
just do a whole reshoot.
Yeah, which, like, ended up working out even better, like, accidents happen, but then it's like what you do with that. You know what I
It
mean?
gave you like a different vibe,
Of
and
course.
allowed us to focus more even on the
Yeah,
dancing.
it separated from the scene with the snake and then without the snake. Like it made almost more sense. So
Yeah, it
sometimes I
did.
feel like in life accidents happen, but at the end of the day they're not really accidents. It's like everything happens for a reason. Like literally everything happens for a reason.
Like even if you get like the a flat tire or if you're stuck in
Fla-
traffic, sometimes I feel like, okay, well, I got a flat tire because I was gonna get into a car accident,
right.
and then life was like, no, 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 you need to stay home right now and
You
take care of some
have
other
to
shit.
think like
Yeah,
that. You have to think that because every day we get hit with challenges that's what really like helps you decide what kind of person you are is how you face those challenges. Of course, like everyone goes through the ups and downs, but it's important to keep like an optimistic and positive attitude about everything. That's what I'm still trying to like
yeah,
kind of master, and I feel like I'll always try to master my best to just be more optimistic and like okay, you're getting like road rage, road rage, da 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 da. Like all those things come with patience, and it's just a matter your perspective on everything. Of course, maybe that person has a baby coming on the way. Maybe it's important that he does cut you off
right.
because his mother is like,
About to die in the
about to,
hospital or
yeah,
something.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? You
you
just
never
never
know.
know. So I've been really trying to wake up and go through my days with more of just a positive outlook on everything. If someone like pisses me off, I'll like have like half of a second, and then I'll completely switch my mindset into like their shoes on like what could have triggered them. You just never know what each person is going through to
Yeah,
like make them respond like that. Maybe there's someone in front of you at a Starbucks line saying, "Let me get my," like just being rude, a rude person, and of course like your first thought is like, that's someone I never want to interact with ever in life. But again, like you never know what people are going through. So
I've definitely had some days where I was in a bad mood and I saw that I came off like a dick.
really,
And I was like, oh, if that person only met me today for those 5 minutes
right?
and they caught me when I was like not in the best mood,
It's
it's like
like you catch
their
yourself.
perception of me is crazy. So then
Of
I think, okay,
course.
maybe I'm catching that person
Yeah, yeah,
on that day
totally.
too. Maybe today is like that one day where they're like,
Yeah. You're
ah!
like, give me another chance, man.
I remember I was walking Brazzy the other day and I had forgotten to bring his poopy bags. And I
Okay.
went to get a smoothie, and I had headphones on, and I had sunglasses, and I just was looking like, just like totally like not
Right,
giving a
right.
fuck, and he was pooping in somebody's front lawn, and
They came out.
they came out, and I felt so bad, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot my bag, and they were like screaming at me, and I just felt like such a dick, because I was
Oh
also,
my
I still had my
God.
headphones on and my shades, and I was like still slurping like my smoothie
See that?
as I was doing it, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I forgot my thing, and I was like, I look like an asshole. Right
See, in that
now.
instance, you finish your smoothie and then you scoop it with the smoothie cup,
Right?
and then
I'd be
you
like,
give
"Hold
it to
on."
them. You give it to them right after. You're like, "That's my bad. Have at it."
I distinctly remember that, and I was like, "Man, I look like such a dick right now." And
Right,
I'm usually
right.
so good about
The
that stuff.
headphones, the
Yeah.
glasses, the smoothie.
Yeah,
Typical
I
LA.
forgot it.
Shoot.
As I try to
That's
be a little more
hilarious.
forgiving. I think it's
Ugh.
seeing areas where I've messed up
Yeah.
helps me forgive other people. But there's a difference between like forgiving somebody and
Yeah.
letting them like take advantage of you.
Right.
You know,
Right.
if somebody repeats a pattern, you could still love them from afar, but be like,
You-
I can't really fuck with you like that.
Yeah, I mean, each person I feel like should understand their worth, but it's hard for people to put their worth before like their actions sometimes because a lot of people are either afraid to speak up, or afraid of like the outcome. There's a lot of, shy people in life, or even you could relate that to like even like relationships, abusive relationships, this and that. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
So for those who don't know, because we're kind of caught up right in the middle of
Yeah.
everything, what do you do?
Yeah. So what do I do in life?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a shit ton of dance videos. I make a ton of dance videos. I make music. I act here and there. I mean, I'm pretty much
Kill it on the social media side.
yeah. I'm pretty much overall like a social media influencer that is an aspiring, true music artist. I guess I
Right.
would like that's the way I would point it, because on my social media you get a variety of like, okay, cool dance videos with like great production, and then you get like the raw like challengey dance like viral
Right.
videos, and then you get like a skit, like my DJ challenge where it's like no dancing but it's more on the concept, or then you'll get like brand deal stuff here and there, and it's just a variety up and down. You even like to the point of like the dance itself, like hip hop stuff, more like storyline, like concept, like hip hop contemporary stuff. So it's just a variety of stuff, which is awesome.
How did you get started in all this? It started with dance, right?
Yeah, no,
Back in Chicago?
Yeah, started with dance. Yeah, back in Chicago, I was at my sister's wedding where I was 12 years old, and one of her friends just asked me what dance studio I danced for, and at the time I didn't know that was even a thing. I didn't
You were
know
just
you
like
could
dancing for
compete
fun at
it.
the wedding.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone's dancing for fun. Me and my like jungle juice, like let's get it down. Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hey.
yeah,
And her
yeah.
friends were like, what studio you dance for? I was like, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. And then they're like, you don't dance for a studio? I was like, no. But I just grew up like watching You Got Served movies all the time. That's really like what clicked me. But then Mom and I got home the next day. We looked for a local dance studio. I
Right.
took a dance class, and then from there, it was my first initial like creative spark where I feel like there was consistently new moves, new music.
How old were you then?
I was 12 years old.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
got into like hip hop dance.
Yeah, I got
And
into hip hop dance.
yeah.
I took a hip hop dance class, and then from there it was gone. And like the upbringing of myself was I did 10 years of taekwondo. I did like travel baseball,
I didn't know you did
soccer.
taekwondo.
Yeah,
No shit.
when I was like 2. So
Oh, like before dancing.
yeah, before
You had already
dancing.
been doing martial arts.
Yeah,
and, like
I was
sports.
already doing it all, but I found myself consistently getting bored because like it's generally the same thing that you're doing. Even like baseball and sports, it's like you hit the thing and then you go around and
Right, it's pretty repetitive.
it's pretty repetitive, and you really have to have like a true passion for it to constantly get better and better. And
Yeah.
I just found myself like really doing it for fun, not really like a passion of mine. So once I did dance, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm addicted to music already as it is.
Yeah. I bet socially it helped too, just to know how to
Yeah,
dance.
no,
just
it
to be
really
the kid
did.
That,
It really did. Well,
that could move,
kind of.
or not really.
I mean, I guess so, because like because I would have moments where I would be at like school dances, you know, in middle school, and people would be like, hey, go off. And then you'd have the moments where like kids would want to bully and say some stuff. But I can't really say I was the type to like get bullied like heavily. But of course, like there was comments, and I feel like everyone growing up at 12 years old, you know, without social
You're gonna
media.
get made fun of for something.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And at the time, it wasn't just like socially acceptable. You know, nowadays it's very more like
Dancing is almost like the new
worldwide,
jock,
like
thing.
hit them folks,
Yeah.
of course. Like it's like
Yeah.
now group kids are like, yo, let's film a video of us just like freestyle, like, you know, doing all the like challenging type moves, which is easy enough. Which is now socially, it's way more acceptable than what
When
it
we were
once
growing up,
was.
when
like,
because when we were growing up, it was like hardcore being
10
gangsters
10
and
years
being too
ago,
cool for school.
of course.
Like, yeah,
like
yeah.
no, that's not for me. But now I feel like because of social media, dancing evolved insanely. Like
I feel like
worldwide,
a lot of things that used to not be cool now are really
are
cool.
totally cool.
Like now it's all about like comic books
Yeah,
and,
yeah, of
and
course.
actually trying in
I
school.
mean, even like
back then you were cool if you like didn't give a shit about school and you were like
Right.
getting F's. You're like, I'm the cool kid. I don't read that.
Right.
Now the cool kids have like blogs and they're like
That's
super like
hilarious.
environmentalists and like
I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
even when you relate it to like music artists, you know, Billie Eilish is like bleeding black out of her eyes. And think about 10 years ago, if we saw that, everyone would be like, this demon child.
Like goth
But
scene,
nowadays,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
like, I'm so inspired by the artistic, abstract ability to be able to change your eye color to black. It's just ridiculously insane. I need to make an album. Like, it completely changed, which is like, that brings up my next topic of like, I feel like us as creators and artists and like what we do, we constantly need to like be okay with being interesting and being different and support unique ideas, because that's how artistry grows and artistry
Right.
evolves, you know? Like we have to. It's up to us to see like what we plan out for the next generation so they could do something even crazier and crazier. Like that's how art evolves in itself.
Well, let's
So,
talk about how you
yeah.
evolve, because one of the things that I want to do in this podcast is I want to show other aspiring creatives the
Sick.
steps on how you got to where you got.
Sick.
So you're in Chicago, you're a
Yeah.
kid taking dance classes.
Yeah.
How does it go from that to you being, you know, having like millions of views and being like how'd you even get to LA? How'd you
Yeah.
become a professional? Like what was that journey?
the evolving station, huh? Yeah, so my mom, after being in the hip hop competition studio for some time,
In Chicago.
in Chicago,
Okay.
I started I pretty much like ended up taking a Monsters dance convention out in LA. That was like
Okay.
my first visit to like see what it is, the like
To
competition.
like feel the industry.
The industry, just like
yeah.
that was my first step towards getting out of a competitive like star power, like do your dance and go home, and maybe you won gold. Happy birthday.
Monsters was more of like a real like
It's more of like
swaggy.
just industry related dancers with like sauce and
It was less
people from-
competition,
yeah,
more like
and people from
culture,
everywhere.
yeah,
You know what I
uh-huh.
mean? Not just so robotic like choreography, like kind of dancers in a sense, but
Yeah.
so that being in that environment really inspired me to want to forever being around that, which is like what LA is made of like
Yeah.
very like
Individuals.
creative individual
Yeah.
people that I think every day are just like everyone has some kind of risk in
Right.
some kind of stage of life. So just being around that energy at such a young age, because my first visit was like 14 years old.
That's when it came to Monsters. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, we got back from Chicago, and I was like, I hate being here. I need to be over there. I need to do something
got
with
a
this.
taste
Like,
of it,
how
yeah.
do I do that? And from that conversation, my mom and I sat down, and we really thought of ways how I could get out here. And so we moved in with my sister.
Specifically for you?
To
Wow.
save money for 2 years, and we slept on air mattresses because, bills and whatnot. We saved up as much, and like LA being the most expensive place in the
Yeah.
world to live in, we did that, and I was totally okay with that because I just remember in my head I was like, I'm going to LA. Oh my God, like I could sleep on an air mattress for 2 years knowing that, oh my gosh, I'm going to live in LA and pursue something that I never thought I would get the opportunity with. And gratefully, like I've had such a supportive mother to like be okay with that, moving across the world, even though I have sisters, brothers, like I have a whole family based in Chicago. So having such a supportive mom that was willing to do that, I was like, okay, I need to really work hard. So my one thing
You
was
saw the sacrifice that she was doing, and it was
sacrifice.
like, you can't half-ass.
Yeah, I can't at all. And so to show her like my passion in it, I did accept like a scholarship to Chicago Academy of the Arts, which was Performing Arts High
I
School.
work with them, yeah.
But the thing about it is there was no hip hop. So that means 3 hours of dance after academics, which was strictly ballet, jazz, and modern.
Right.
And that means within all those classes, you had to put on the tights, you had to put on the dance belt. You could see your little Johnny pop out through the little skeety dee. Totally okay, but just something I was not like familiar with at all. The bar, the
Yeah.
classical music. Like I've never been experienced that, or never been or have taken any of those classes. But of course, Chicago Academy of the Arts, they wanted more guys and whatnot, and I was like, in my head, I knew that was going to grow me as a dancer, and that was going to show my mom that I was really serious about making dance a career rather than just like a hobby.
Before you moved to LA?
It was before I moved to LA. This is how I got brought to LA, pretty much.
You did CAA in Chicago.
CAA, and
then you and your mom moved out here, stayed with your sister.
No. We stayed with my sister in Chicago to save money.
Oh, in Chicago you stayed?
Yeah,
You
that's what I'm
slept on the
saying.
air mattresses?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. So we did that before I moved to LA. Yeah.
Wow.
So to save up money. And to also
That's
while
a
in
hustle
that
right
process.
there.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the train in the morning, take
Take that blue line
hour,
over,
little
yeah,
hour
yeah.
train to Union Station, baby.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I just remember doing school out there. I was just freshman, doing the school, doing 3 hours of dance, and I would come home, do 3 hours of competition dance, which was strictly hip hop. So I was doing 6 hours of dance, give or
Yeah.
take, like every day.
Yeah.
And then I would finally do my homework at like 9 p.m. at night till like 11,
And then
and
be
wake
done.
up at 6 like every day. So it was a lot of hard work. It's not an easy. I think everyone has not. I feel like not everyone,
have
but
a
there's a
perception.
lot of people that have put in the work and really have gone through those risks to do it. And so from there, we moved to LA.
You and your mom?
Me and my mom moved to LA. Got a spot. I got a job at AMC movie theater. That was my first job, my first like normal like
Yeah.
job that I had to take tickets. Hey, like be 16, like enjoy the movie. I heard it was like super tight. So like, let me know what your thoughts are. Like, I'd eat the snacks. I started becoming fat from that. Like, it was a good time. Nice Cosmo, a little trip. But so I did that to support like dance classes. As soon as I moved out here, man, I was taking like probably like at least 3 dance classes every day.
Wow.
And being surrounded at the time, there's a lot of older like adults like like at the time wasn't normal of like 12-year-olds to be in LA like taking class at the old Millennium
Yeah,
every
that's
day.
kind of more of a recent phenomenon.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, of course. And so I was doing like three classes a day, and I started getting noticed by choreographers. David Moore took me under his wing and started
Yeah.
mentoring me because he knows me from Chicago. And I started just constantly taking class. Uh, the followers and like views and like comments on YouTube just started growing as I kept just
Well,
taking class.
how'd you start posting on YouTube? Did you start like doing your own stuff or just
I
showing up
I
on
start
other people's videos?
showing up in other people's videos, and then them leading to like my Instagram account because people would post like, all right, this is Josh Clay. They would go on Instagram, and that's where I started taking clips of those 15-second clips.
Yeah, before they had the minute
of those.
Yeah.
And put them on my Instagram, and then I just started seeing a growth. Just like
Yeah.
every month, I would see like more and more followers. So that's where I started getting the initial of like, whoa, this is like fun to grow. It's just like fun to grow.
Were you making any money off social media
No.
at that point?
No, not at all. And then
What was like your first viral video?
first viral video, man?
That was like yours, or that you were heavily a part of. Was it the
It was the hoverboards.
hoverboards?
Yeah. Because
That was crazy. That was right when hoverboards were like a hot thing.
it was a
too.
huge thing, and that's why we jumped on that. Because like from taking dance class, we started really putting in time into the videos because the videos was exposure. This was the first time where like Instagram was blowing up, which was really cool that we get to be. By the way, off track, but this is really cool that we get to be a part of this social media wave. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the first time, like Instagram and people are truly making a living off of like social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like really,
We're
really
like in the pioneer stage still. Like,
of course. Like think like 30 years from now, people are like, dang, I wish I had that chance, like to be in the uprising of like
Yes.
this new wave. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So dance class that led to like, yo, we should just start making our own Instagram videos, which just
Whose
to see
idea
the
was
power.
it to do the hoverboard thing?
It was David's. It was David Moore's initial idea.
Did you guys have a sponsor?
And that was at the time, huh?
Did you guys have a sponsor?
We actually so yeah, I'll get into this. So hoverboard dance video that went viral. First one, being a part of it and whatnot. At the time, we knew hoverboards were a thing, and I was actually in a boy band at that time. So
I think I remember that.
haven't
thing. I was
done
almost
like,
gonna do a music video for you guys.
Oh,
we had like
yeah,
a whole
yeah,
meeting
we
about
set
it.
up.
Yeah.
That was funny. Shoot. So we did. I was in a boy band, and in the boy band at rehearsal, my best friend, roommate Alex DiTomaso, and I saw hoverboards in a window. We got hoverboards. We saw them. There was the most interesting thing,
Yeah.
being able to just move slightly and like get you from A to B. It's the craziest mobility. But so David hit me up asking, "Yo, we should do a dance on these." Da 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 da. We started experimenting in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Just funny dance moves, and we kind of were in a circle for fun. We were like, all right, this is the Spidey, where we would like bend down, crouch, and go tss, tss, tss in a circle. And then we're like, this is the like Jesus Christ, where we would both like two legs go on one paddle and like hands wide open and start turning. And then that initiated oh my god, what if we did actual dance choreography on these things with like 5 guys?
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, what song? And David was like, yo, what do you mean? Bieber just came out, and these hoverboards are going viral. It just made sense because it's something
It just felt like the
something
wave
that's
was
never
coming.
been done before. And I feel like as creators, you're always looking for like some unique idea to grab on that's never been done before. I mean, that's how, again, things grow. So once he hit me up about that, we got in dance rehearsal, started making up some choreography into it, and David filmed on a hoverboard actually, and we just posted it up. I mean, like we had 2 rehearsals and then filmed it the next day.
And that thing blew up. You guys
It
were like on
blew
Good
up.
Morning America.
Yeah, that blew up like once. So once Justin saw it, he tweeted it out on his
Bieber
Twitter.
tweeted it.
Yeah, Justin Bieber tweeted it out, and that's where it was shoom. Every like newspaper, every like article. The funny part is Ellen and Good Morning America and like 2 other like spots wanted us as the first like show. So it was cool being in a place being like, all right, y'all, what do we want as our first performance? What should
Either
we do?
Ellen or
Ellen did
this. Yeah.
But we thought, no hate on Ellen. Like Ellen's like Historical. I mean, Ellen show's crazy, but
Yeah.
Good Morning America in the middle of Times Square sounds very more historic because we were one of the first like non-related musical acts to really like perform live on Good Morning America because
Right.
usually they do like
Like a musician.
musician and
Yeah.
whatnot. So we were like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So we did do that. We got flown to New York, perform on Good Morning America in the middle of Times Square. We had an audience on everywhere. It was a whole thing, and
Did
that was
anybody fall during the first performance?
nope. But a board did die like 5 hours before our performance, and that was stressing out. Like we couldn't figure out how to get like
Working again?
work anymore because those things, it's technology, you never know when it's going to
Yeah,
go in and
yeah.
out, and that's where we're relying on these boards to make this performance. So that was stressful, but we ended up like holding it, doing something, eventually turned
Like
on.
turning the court to the right just
Yeah,
enough to where it's
but
like, oh, it's
that's the
stretching.
scariest
Yeah.
thing. You're relying on technology for a live performance that by any moment in that performance one could just go boop and die, and now it's awkward. We're like the fourth guy, you just see him go and now we don't have an act.
He just
What are we
grooved his
supposed
way
to
off
do,
screen.
bro?
Yeah.
Not like
Yeah.
you start carrying it and going to the performance. Like that's awkward. So
So you guys were on Good
That's a
Morning
lot.
America, but they didn't necessarily pay you guys, right? They just flew you out, maybe give you per diem or something.
I
And
think they paid us a little bit because it was on live TV. Yeah,
Gotcha.
'cause
But it was just
TV,
like
but it was
the
barely anything.
the minimum amount to be on TV.
Yeah, and
it
that was the
wasn't like
start.
a big
No.
performer fee.
No,
It
no,
didn't
no.
make you rich to buy this
But
house.
exposure wise, we're like, bro, this is more than any kind of, you know what I mean?
Well, because when people say, there's such a negative stigma around doing things for exposure.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like certain kinds of exposure you could do. Like,
Mhm.
not all do this for exposure means it's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, if you currently have no exposure,
Right.
then getting something that is going to put you on,
Of course.
then you could leverage that to have a bigger brand to make
I
more
mean,
money.
you have to. I mean,
Yeah.
why? Especially that was our first viral video, so any kind of opportunities we had with that, we were like, let's do it. And then from that one gig, we literally got like 20 plus gigs in
Like
different
paid gigs, yeah.
paid gigs. You know, flying internationally, like to
Like
China,
corporate events, that kind of
China,
stuff.
like
yeah.
car events and whatnot, and everyone wanted this performance that no one else. We had no competition. No one else was doing this, and it just makes sense in the present day, with the hoverboards going viral and whatnot. And
Everybody was just learning how to use them.
yeah, they were
They
just
could
coming into play.
much less dancing.
Totally.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
from there, that's really what struck our mind on like the power of a video, and like when leads me to my next thing. When opportunities don't arise, make them yourself, man. Like 100%. Like you never know what the outcome is. But then from that video, that really inspired me too. This is important for me personally. That I didn't want. Moving to LA, my main focus was industry jobs, like very commercial, like backup dancing.
Yeah.
You know, movies. Like I wanted to just be an industry dancer, and finally getting like a spotlight on us and on me and whatnot. That inspired me. Like I didn't want to really be in the back scene. Like I want to be more up front. I want to be the star of something. And
It made you not so much want to be like a backup dancer anymore?
yeah. It didn't make me want to be a dancer under someone's control. That's what that's what really was
Okay.
like after gaining experience of like
Right.
doing more like music videos and movies and doing that kind of thing, you know, getting that experience finally and then relating it to people wanting us and like we're the stars, you know, of it inspired me that I want to really like be, I guess, a social media influencer and make my own opportunities, have people want to come to me specifically for my ideas. And
And how do you make that happen? Like, how do you get these social media gigs? Like, how do you get the targets and that
I think
kind of
it's your
stuff?
team around you. Like
But how do you particularly?
I
how'd you
mean-
get it? Like, it went from the hoverboard thing. You
hoverboard
had
thing.
some vision. Did you have a manager at the time? Did you have an
I
agent
didn't.
that helped
I
you get
did
the
have.
stuff?
See, that's the weird thing too, is because at that time, agencies, the social media brand deals with dance weren't a thing, and so
Yeah.
at the time I was with MSA doing more dance gigs, but then kind of like ventured away from that because with the social media brands, they would go directly to my email. You know,
Right.
they would directly go towards you, and then that made you think like, okay, do I need a dance agency right now if all these opportunities are coming directly to me? Like
'Cause these are new opportunities.
new
These aren't, because
opportunities.
dance agencies are good for what they do.
Yeah.
But at the time, there wasn't even
At the
social media
time, yeah,
departments.
no
That was
one.
like a brand new thing.
Yeah, there was no like
Yeah.
digital departments at that time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I
We
started.
say at that time. That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know, years
Back
ago.
in the olden days.
Back in the olden days. So
Okay.
yeah,
So then
man.
people would just, so they would just come to you.
They would just come to me, and from that viral like hoverboard video, David and I kept on making like dance challenges like
Yeah.
that would also be viral, or like new things, new ideas as far as like what's relatable worldwide, not what's relatable to just the dance community, not what's relatable to just the makeup community, what's relatable worldwide. And that's again like nowadays why viral moves, everyone's doing it because it's easy enough for everyone to catch on to. But that's why we did like FedEx versus UPS, Krispy Kreme versus Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
You know, like people,
Like universal
everyone
themes.
likes,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's just we started figuring out our strategy was very like how do we relate worldwide, and that's what really clicked onto like our viral videos. You know, at the time, Fortnite was blowing up, so we were like, okay, bro, let's make a Fortnite dance. But it's like the production, the thought, the thought behind it all. We made our own song for Fortnite called "Hit That Chug Jug, Hit That Chug Jug, Hit It, Hit That Chug." And if you play Fortnite, you know Chug Jug is like a prop in the game.
Okay.
So we knew that was like trending right now, so we caught onto that, made our own song, made our own dance, got the suits to look like the Fortnite characters. It's
Yeah.
always how like you relate to stuff. So we just kept on building that, and then I started doing my own videos like plug walk, and I just really found out that, and then opportunities would come from these, and so that's where I started putting more energy into content that was relatable. And
That was your content.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what you're saying is, aside from having the
Mhm.
viral hit, right,
Mhm.
which somebody may or may not stumble upon, right?
Mhm.
Although that one was very planned, you can't just rely on that. You have to continuously put out content.
Always.
Even if you're not getting paid for it,
Yeah.
you have to continuously show the kinds of things what makes you
Yeah.
special.
Because I've got so many opportunities from like let's say a plug walk dance challenge to, and then I got so many opportunities from like Jade and I made this really dope dance with the rope that's more like
I remember
artsy.
that one.
So
Yeah.
that gave me like two director opportunities compared to let's say the plug walk video gave me two like Disney opportunities. You know,
Right.
so that's why I think it's smart to not just like do one thing of content, because you just never know the different kinds of opportunities everything can come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And have a constant creating mindset.
Yeah, and so I compared, 100%. And so that's what I really brought in my head. I'm like, okay, I need to make a variety of stuff, you know, open all of the doors, not just stick to one. And it's always just, you know, staying, what's the word? Relevant, I guess. Like you always want to come up with what's the next idea? Which then is like, it puts pressure into your head. But again, like, we shoot these videos for fun, you know what I mean? Like all the
Most
videos,
of them you don't even get paid for, except for the
Yeah.
product ones.
yeah, they're ones that say hashtag ad on them.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we are getting paid for those, but primarily, like, if you don't see that, we're doing it for fun, you know?
And then it ends up also being like the marketing tool.
Yeah, and at the end, 100%. And again, like opportunities come from each of these videos.
Yeah.
It's for fun, and like you get to do it on your schedule.
Right.
You know, and you never know like worldwide what we as people in a society make trend. You know, like the Area 51 thing. Like that was a huge
the Naruto
random
run.
trending thing in the world that we were like, oh wait, we should make a video on it. So it's important to stay on like what's going on in the world, so you can make content that is inspired from what's going on worldwide. That's
So
how
you
you
know
make
where
something
your
viral.
content kind of fits into
Yeah.
the overall conversation.
Totally.
Yeah. Do you have a regimen? Like what's your routine like?
Okay, yeah, so it differentiates weekly, but I do write on my board, you know, Nick's part of my team where we'll plan out our goals. Like every Sunday, we'll say like, okay, we want to make 2 Instagram videos. I want to do 1 photo shoot. I want to practice my vocals, and we'll have a separate situation for like life stuff as far as like personal, like what I need to like keep healthy, which is like my
Right.
workouts, my hiking, you know, going to church, like have that on the side, and I have like my like work stuff. So we plan it every Sunday, and I have this thing called passion planner that I'll write that has lists every hour of the day that I'll just fit it in the schedule. And then, Monday we'll usually, like, think about ideas and shoot, like, Tuesday, Wednesday, to be able to, like, post content constantly and just stack up. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
And
sometimes
I remember you told me once that you get up at 8 a.m. every day. Or you
yeah,
try
for the
to,
most part,
and then you do the music studio at like 8 p.m. That was like
yeah,
when we were in Boston.
for
You
a
were telling me
while
about
I
that.
was
Yeah.
actually on, like, the workout in the morning, and then at night, after your whole day of shooting videos, doing a photo shoot, whatever, meetings, yada yada yada, figuring out your branding, like, okay, how do you want to brand yourself? At the end of it, you finally have a little bit of time, and now you're practicing. Now I'd be practicing on my vocals at 8 p.m. to like 8 to like 10 p.m. Just vocals and, like, really studying music. That was probably like a year, 2 years ago, maybe.
And I think
Now it's
that's something I want to
yeah.
share with people because social media, being successful at it, aside from the people who randomly have like a viral thing that they stumbled upon,
Mhm.
it's a job and it's a
Yeah.
full-time operation.
Yeah.
It's no different than like losing weight or gaining muscle. You don't
Totally.
accidentally lose weight. You don't accidentally get muscle.
Right.
You have to plan. Okay, I'm going to do this many workouts,
Everything.
this frequent. I have to eat this many
Yeah.
proteins and carbs. And building social media is the same way. You have to have an actual strategy.
You do, and I think that's one thing that I see a lot of people in the dance community kind of hate on is they'll like talk ish about, like, it's ruining any kind of, like, art, or I just get an energy that, like, it's they like people hate on it, and my whole thing is like
On what you do?
yeah, just
On,
on
like, the
people,
viral dance
let's say
videos?
people that are more so known as social media influencers than,
Right.
like, professional dancers, I guess, or like just community-based dancers.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a lot of work. It like one person that I know, like, works her ass off, like, a lot, that always inspires me to work even a little bit harder, is like Montana Tucker.
Yeah.
And, like, some people may not like her content to the best ability, but her work ethic is freaking insane. Like, sometimes she'll shoot like 2-3 videos on the same day, have nothing, like, planned out. So, like, that means, like, going to their house, okay, hey, let's choreograph to this song, and, like, while we're choreographing, come up with a concept, and I'll while during our choreography session, I'll hit up some people to see if we can film in like 30 minutes, and then we'll make it work. And then she'll do that 2 more times.
In
And
the
so,
same
like,
day,
that
just
in the
pump out
same
content.
day, yeah.
Yeah.
And that takes a certain, like, part in your brain to be able to first, like, put all of that in. And, like, the reason why you're doing that is, I get it, for the whole week, say you got stuff later on, like, you already have content now. You stack up content, you release on specific days, you do the whole thing. Like, it takes a
Yeah.
lot of work too. And so, yeah, man, you're constantly, it's the pressure of you have following that expects it, and then it's the pressure of, like, staying organic while doing all of it.
What does that mean?
Organic meaning you're not just solely doing your videos based on, like, your following. Like, you're also doing it because that's a part of you, you know? I feel like if you're making content, you have to have at least percentage of it that, like, you truly want to make that video. Like, it should never feel like work. It should always feel like fun to you, or else I feel like you lose that like passion towards, like, waking up and enjoying the process. You know, and once it gets to the point of, like, all right, this is just business. All right, man, I just need to make these videos because the following is da da da. That's where I feel like it goes downhill. You know, you got to constantly stay motivated, and it's
Yeah.
hard because you constantly are following other influencers, and you'll see other content and compare yourself, and feel like sometimes your content is just, like, boring or just not where it used to be, or da da da. I mean, everyone compares himself, like,
Right.
subliminally, I feel like. So
And it's so not good. It's one thing to get inspired by other people or just
Mhm.
see how they're doing it, but
yeah.
sometimes it feels like we're comparing everybody else's highlight reels to our behind the scenes.
Yep.
We just see what it looks like, a
Looks like.
perfect, showcase of their life, and then
I
we
agree.
notice all the things that we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, totally, because you just see what's. I mean, nowadays social media is your resume too, so it's like, it's hard to see the behind the scenes stuff, or
Nobody
like
really
the
shows their
process.
failures.
Yeah. Which I kind of want to start getting better at that. Is, like, more behind the scenes of everything and, like, the process of it all. I think that would be I mean, sometimes when I watch movies, it's almost like the behind the scenes is like more
Just as
exciting to
entertainment.
watch.
Yeah, like the Mission Impossible ones. Have you
Oh,
seen those? The way like Tom Cruise does all his own stunts.
no, but I have heard he's done all of his
Yeah,
own
he does
stunts.
one where he like hangs on the side of an airplane for real. Actually, when the plane is flying, he's just like tied to it. When he's like doing the rope walk around like the tallest
Jesus.
building in Dubai, he's like actually doing that. On this
Wow.
latest one, he's like climbing up a helicopter rope. It's insane.
I need to look up
He
the
does
behind
all
the
his own
scenes.
shit.
Yeah.
Like he did like 150 skydives for the last one.
Oh my god. 150?
Yeah, to get the shot right. You
See,
know?
I see the skydiving, bro. I've done that once. I was like, I'll never do that again.
Really? I'm on like
I
my
probably
10th
won't
jump right
ever
now.
do it again.
I want to get my license.
I may do it again, but maybe not off of like a coffee, a Bang Energy, a Red Bull. Like I got up there and I was like, I
You
just
took too much caffeine.
I had took too much caffeine, so I was at a point
off
where I
of
was
something
like,
that's already like
like
an adrenaline, yeah.
rush. I just remember getting up there. I was like, oh. And I didn't think I don't think I was scared of heights or anything, but man, getting up there by yourself, like you
It's a
look
trip.
down and you're like, this is the first time I've ever like on my own freedom just jumped and nothing else. Like it's the weirdest feeling.
It's a
man.
mind fuck.
Yes,
Because
totally.
everything in your body is telling you don't do it.
Yeah,
You're safe
yeah.
here, but it doesn't actually feel like you're falling, right?
Yeah.
Like as soon as
No,
you're out, it
is-
feels like you're kind of like
you're
floating.
in the air. But my thing is like I've seen every scary movie, every like Final Destination that in my head I'm like, all right, what if this? I was thinking I couldn't stop thinking about what if like I slip out, like I'll be skinny, like what if I say a school?
That's funny because I went parasailing with Yanni
Yeah.
last year for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
And she wasn't strapped on properly, and we were like 800 feet in the air, and she was saying like, "Hey, I think I'm slipping out," and I thought she was just afraid because it was just loose.
No
You know, I was
way.
like, "You'll be fine." And then we're up there. She's like, "No," really, look at you and look at me. I was like properly in the straps.
Like,
The thing that was
yeah.
under my like on my thighs
Yeah.
was like behind her butt. It was like she was already like this far out
Oh
of
my
it.
god.
And I was like, "Holy shit, you're actually
You're like,
falling."
you may.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Do you
Well,
want me to film you?
I didn't actually say that.
Content? No, just-
I just looked at her and I was like, "Mom, you may want to lean back
Yeah,
a little
lean
bit,"
back.
because I didn't want her to freak out because we
Yeah.
were so far up already. But as soon as we were like getting pulled back to the boat, I was like, "You almost died."
Yo, that's crazy. Wow.
Because
That's
I'm used to like
scary.
skydiving where the straps are
There's
like
so
on
many,
tight.
yeah.
When you go on parasailing, it's
Yeah,
like
you get a
it's
one
like a
little
half-ass
thing.
little seatbelt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dude,
I'm
now
glad you're okay. By the way, I'm glad you survived that.
so now that you got this music deal, what's the plan?
Mhm.
What are you gonna do moving forward? What's the mission now?
What's the plan? Well, I had my first session yesterday with the team, and we
Yeah.
are primarily just like it's like meet and greet more so like comfortability. Yes, we made a song and whatnot. We meet like next week to come up with like more of a strategy of like the direction, but they just want to get me like comfortable with meeting the producer, the writer, and we're just pretty much they want to authentically just be tools to help me grow into the artist I've always wanted to become. Not the team that is like, all right, we want to make the biggest pop star artist, and we
Right.
need this, this, and this.
They're
It's
letting
very
you-
much so like,
Yeah.
yo, we already see how like how talented you are. We want you to run your own ish, but we want to be the tools to help you. So we're gonna guide you to the direction you want to be, and maybe like Serpent, there's a song, Bought Your Love, that I haven't released. The songs you're making right now are very, like, F women. Like you hurt me, you're
Yeah.
hurt. Like, it doesn't open your arms up and, like, allow women, which is primarily going to be, I feel like you're following with, like, my
Right.
music, to want to, like, join the journey with you. So it's really nice having people to, motivate you to, hey, remember, music's priority. A lot of times I get distracted with dancing and dance gigs and branding and all of that other stuff in order to support myself. And it's hard sometimes to be like, wait, remember, you need to sacrifice some time into your longevity goal because I think like your bread, your income comes from dancing. Dancing you're more comfortable with. For me personally, I'm talking like to myself right now,
Yeah.
but so I'm like the happiest I've ever been right now, solely because I'm finally working towards my long-term goal, and now I kind of like that I have a pressure of like now I have a team behind me that
Yes.
expects me to
Yes.
make it a priority, which sometimes I will say I do need that because it's feel like it makes me really like kick myself in the butt to
Gives you
keep that as a
accountability.
priority. Accountability, 100%. That's the word I was
Because you're
looking for.
transitioning from one art form that you were very successful in already to another. Let's talk about that.
Mhm.
A lot of times people feel like they're stuck in their identity. Like
Yeah.
I'm just a dancer, or
Yeah.
I'm just a photographer, or I'm
Right.
just a videographer, or I'm just a musician, and they don't realize that, or sometimes they're afraid to transition to another thing, because all your fans already know you as the one thing.
Right.
So let's talk about that. Like, did you always know you wanted to transition to music? Was
Um.
that something that you cared about from the beginning?
Yeah. I think
Because you had the
I
boy
didn't.
band,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I didn't always want to be like a music artist. I mean, I watched like You Got Served, so I just solely like focused on dancing at the time. But
right.
then an opportunity arose where I to join a boy band because like Chris Stokes saw like my stuff on Instagram and stuff, and I was like, this is interesting. I've never done this before, and
Yeah.
I always like challenging things, and at the time I didn't sing like at all, and I just remember going into an audition of like we were at a sushi restaurant, like a high end sushi restaurant,
Right.
and I had to sing like live in front of like the entire restaurant right there. And then like from there they like the next day they were like, here's a contract, and I was like, really? I was like, I know for sure I sounded awful. I know for a fact. They're like, we just need a dancer. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
that, even though the process being in the boy band was very, very awful, of just the business and the way things were ran was very like it felt like a sideline kind of situation. It I'm so grateful that it was that, because it gave me an opportunity to fall in love with being able to make music myself.
Yeah.
Like hearing my voice behind a soundtrack. That's the first time that's ever happened. And that gave an idea in my head where, yo, if I could dance to other people's music, what if I can dance to my own music? What if I could create my own, like 100%, just like create it all?
Yeah.
And that inspired me to really want to take on music, really kind of craft it, get better at it. And that's kind of like what helped me transition my thinking into being just like an influencer and dancer, into really motivating me to want to take music on a serious note. Yeah.
And you invested all your own money into it,
I invested my own money into like my own music video, Serpent,
Yeah.
and I had no expectations. All I knew is that, yo, it's my first music video. This is gonna be a trial and error, but it's the first time I really want to be public about everyone knowing that I really want to take music seriously, and I want to be respected as a music artist. And no, it's not an easy route to transition into something you're already known in to like something else, but again, like you're not doing it for other people. Doing it for myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I had more to offer than just choreographing and dancing personally, and being in the boy band inspired me to really want to do music. So I said, let me just try it. And I'm still dealing with confidence issues of singing in a mic. I know I'm not the best at it, but the fact that I'm able to do it, and the one thing that I remind myself is just being open to learning, growing. There's times where I am frustrated that I can't hit a note, but I know over time, I mean, I'm now on my third, 10th, 11th year of dancing, and I don't have 11 years on music. So Josh,
Right.
like I'll tell myself like it takes time, it takes patience, and it's just frustrating because I'm such the guy that like wants to go. Okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing?
Right.
So having the patience to do vocals every day, and to learn about music, do your education, learn who the legends were that inspired this person, to finding out who your inspirations music wise, like just yeah, just
Diving
really
into it,
diving
realizing it's a
into
process.
it. Yeah, and I think that's super important, is to remind yourself why you do what you do. Is like, it's not, even with the pressure, it's not for other people, but I'm way more mentally happy, and have much larger of a purpose knowing that I'm doing something for myself that I feel like I was given uh, talents that I want to showcase, I want to master, I want to get better at, and I feel like that using those abilities is not is something. Yeah, of course I want to do it for myself, but also a less selfish like way of thinking about it is I'm also doing it for other people that follow me.
Right.
Being able to be a figure that can say openly, "Hey, I'm not really good at doing music. I'm all right. But I'm excited to get better because that's my long-term goal. And even though if this person doesn't like it, I'm just glad myself I could wake up every day knowing that I'm doing something that I truly want to do. You know,
Yeah.
like mentally I go to sleep way happier, way healthier, and that's something I'm very proud of myself of. And despite, of course, like it's a struggle. Like there's times where I'll cry in front of the mirror and just question myself if that's the right path. You know, that like I feel like a lot of people go through that, but again, I just remind myself that I want to do this. I'm not going to I'm going to try my best to be the best at it, but it's a work in progress, and knowing that every song gets better that I do is enough for me, you know? Like that makes me proud. And even despite the frustrations, again, I can't stress how important it is to do what you want to do despite what other people think. Yeah.
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 Because a lot of times, we want to conform to social pressures because we like being liked. We're humans. We
Mhm.
like connecting with our tribe. And sometimes even people that love us or that don't have any bad intentions could give off a vibe that's not very supportive.
Yep.
And if you're just doing it based off of their support, then you're not going to do much at all because then you're not in control of it. You're
Of
letting,
course.
some people might not get it.
Yeah.
They might think you're crazy. Why are you giving up this successful thing over here to go start that other shit?
Of course. And that's almost like that happens I think every time someone does that. There's always
Yeah.
people that
Yeah, but parents want you to be a doctor, or want you to be this.
That's
I mean, like
true.
you already went from like the non-traditional path to like
Yeah.
dance,
Yeah.
and you made that happen.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, you're gonna give up that for this other?"
Yeah.
Not give up, but like transition out of it.
Transition.
Yeah, but everything's a stepping stone, and I don't think that we really have limits as creators.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we identify ourselves to an identity when that's just what we've been doing. I think a creative person is somebody who is inspired and who has a need to create,
Mhm.
right? So it's like an itch that you have to scratch. It's like, okay, I
Totally.
have to make this thing. And you didn't always know how to dance or how
Mhm.
to make videos or how to do social media. You learned.
Mhm.
So, even a rocket scientist isn't born learning rocket science.
Science, yeah.
They have to learn it. So
Of
I think
course.
if somebody has a need to create, they have to create because
Yeah.
imagine like if your favorite book was never written,
Yeah.
or if your favorite movie was never made, or if your favorite song, like Kanye is like one of my favorite artists,
Yeah.
and imagine like if he decided to be like, no, I'm just gonna make beats for other people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make my own albums. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man,
That's
then I would be
really-
missing out on so many albums. So it's
Right.
like, don't cheat the world of your gifts.
Of course.
Like you could make an album 10 years from now that
Yeah.
could inspire the next person that becomes the next president that like saves the world. Like it could.
It
There's
really
so
can
many
go
like
that.
layers of levels of things, and if nothing else, it's
And I mean, think about like say Kanye was like a baseball player, but he like people hated on him that he wanted to become like a musician. Like thank
Yeah.
God he in his head went for it,
Exactly.
Despite all the challenges that he had to go through to it. So that's why it's so freaking important. Who knows? Like I may make a hit. Like who knows? And I'm so glad then I didn't listen to every person talking ish saying why is he transitioning? You never know, man. And I think it's important to constantly think of your goals behind everything too. It's like constantly
Yeah.
thinking of your purpose. Like is your purpose like organic? Are you doing it for the wrong reasons? Like what is your purpose? I'm always asking myself every other day. It's like, okay, what's my purpose of today? What's my purpose behind creating? What's my purpose of doing music? Like I'm always evaluating myself
Yeah.
to make sure that I really, really want to do everything, and that keeps me excited to constantly keep doing it.
Because it's
that's
a lot
the
of
thing.
work.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
if you
we're
don't
doing
want to
this
do it
every
yeah.
day. Like, how do you stay motivated doing? Of course, they're different stuff, but it's like you're doing it every day. You're doing this every day. Okay, you're collabing with different every day. Like, yeah.
At
so-
some point, you have to enjoy it because life is short. You don't want
Yeah.
to spend so much time trying to please other people.
Dude, and that's why I just got back from Cyprus, and even though I wasn't there for too long, Cyprus is an island off Turkey, by the way, but being in a just new environment, new people, new energy, new way of life is so important to like my brain, and that's where put a reminder in my head, like every month I want to just travel, or like every 2 months I want to just like get away.
Go
Just to
absorb some
balance,
life. Yeah.
absorb, and have moments for yourself, man. Like
Hmm.
it's important too, because like even on my hikes, I'll just take it in and just like put the phone away, put everything away, and just like be in the moment and be proud of yourself. Find reasons why you're proud of yourself. Yeah, of course you could like constantly be strict on yourself, because I'm very strict on myself. I'm competing against myself 24/7. So to finally put reminders in my head like, Josh, what are you proud of? Yeah, like even at the end of the day, laying down, okay, Josh, what are you proud of? What are you proud of what you do today that was proud of yourself? Because, you know, it's hard. Life's hard. Life
Yeah.
is a very hard thing. You really got to be like, we're always working on being better. We're always working on our minds being healthier. What's a better way of thinking? What's a better way to inspire? What's a better way to make a better me? It's always improving. But then there's times where you got to be like, okay, you're getting there. You're getting there. You're
Yeah.
constantly growing.
Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
yeah.
man,
Pat on your like.
you're doing good.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm doing
man.
good, aren't I?
And like, and too, like we're not living life for ourselves. We're living our life not only for ourselves, but we're there's more people on this world than just yourself. We're living life with one another too, and I think that's super important. So it's not
Yeah.
just every day you're just thinking about yourself, thinking about this, thinking about that. Like it's crucial to know that. I think that's also like, like everyone needs love. Everyone needs a smile. Smile goes a million ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You never know. And that's one thing that I always want to stress is be kind to people. That's such a huge thing in life, and I feel like if you do follow me on like my social media, I'm constantly trying to project positivity and love,
Yeah.
and despite the hate, sometimes I get on videos and this and that. Like, be nice to people. Everyone goes through ish.
Yeah.
Every single person. But if you just look at someone, ask them about their day. Look at someone, maybe do random acts of kindness. Buy their coffee, and the person in front of you didn't know what they're going through, Like,
Yeah.
everyone goes through rough times. So.
When I'm in the elevator, I like to ask people, and I got this from my boy Rob Hoffman. He was like, ask them, instead of saying, how are you or what's up, say, you have an easy day or a hard day?
Oh, that's nice.
'Cause then they can quickly answer that.
Elevator rides are so awkward for me, so that's great. I want to try that.
You get some really interesting answers. This one time, this lady told me she just beat cancer.
No
and they did like a
way.
little celebration, like a 20-second celebration. I was like, yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
like it."
amazing. And you just
Okay.
asked, like, is your day?
Yeah, easy day
good
or hard
day?
day. She was like, oh, it's a
Easy
great
day.
day. And I'm like, why? She's like, I just beat cancer. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Champagne bottle.
Well, you know how a lot of times we're walking and we're like serious on the street, and then we see somebody and we do the like the kind of half smile thing.
Mhm.
What I've done now to like break people's patterns is I'll walk around already smiling, and then when I see like a stranger, I'll just do like a straight face, and then make them crack up.
Do they run away? I was like, do they run away? Do they crack up? Because if you did that on the street, I'm like, Cosmo, get over here. Come here, buddy. We're going
Come
the
on,
other
smile,
way.
Just like
Yeah, I was like, you're going to kill me if you do that. I don't know if that's working. I don't think
just
I'll
to
take
fuck with
that
people.
one. If I'm on the street and you pass me and you just,
Go from smiling to just like
I'm
super
going to be
serious.
concerned. My initial thought isn't.
I like messing with people, but okay. So before we go, man, some pearls of wisdom here.
Yes.
If there is somebody watching this who has some artistic inclination or just wants to create, wants to share, but they're trying to figure out their path. They're trying to figure out, should they go the regular corporate route or should they follow their passion? What are like the must-have? Like if you could only give them this next 2 minutes of advice for somebody who just wants to make a living doing what they love. From Josh's personal experience, what is your most like, man, if nothing else?
They want to do something that they love. You need to stop, as hard as this sound, or as easy as this could be. You need to, first of all, stop caring what other people think. That's like the hardest thing. As easy as that sounds, you need to stop caring what other people think, and you need to surround yourself. Oh, this is the biggest one. You need to surround yourself with people that genuinely support you, genuinely want the best out of you. And that's very hard to find. Even living in LA, wherever you are, maybe you don't have the resources, but if you truly don't care what others think on the hate and completely block that out of your mind, first of all, you need to do that because you need to get over that, because what you create could inspire the next 5 people that you had no idea could inspire. You need to do that. And then the second thing, again, surround yourself with people that want the best for you, people that uplift you. Even for me, getting into social media, the whole like viral videos and stuff, it was me, David Moore, Alex, Jake. Like, we kind of started growing this pack of like growing ideas together, growing, supporting each other, commenting on, like, constantly staying in touch. Like, guys, what if we did something like this? Like, growing a pack in a group to like share and be excited to share. Like, hey guys, like, I guess check this out. I just filmed this. What are you guys' thoughts? Like, having that to share with your friends and people that truly want the best for you
A support group.
is like means more than any other random person saying like, yo, that was a cool video. It really does, because it's like you want to show them, and now that's giving you like more of a push to like keep making it better and better and better, and having that support system. I guess, again, life isn't meant to be lived alone. Really helped me, man. Like, even like with having, thank God I'm super grateful to have such a supportive mother, but then building my like family, like my David and Jake and people I grew up making videos with, ultimately gave me the push to create videos by myself. I would never have the confidence to really like make videos by myself if it wasn't for like a group that like really liked it, like thought it was cool, thought it was funny. Like,
That's social support.
it's so important. It is so important, because then you won't second guess creating stuff, really. Like,
Yeah.
you know? And so I would say, again, taking it back to what I just said, you need to really genuinely like do stuff for you and stop thinking what other people think, because you may put that in front of you and years ago you'd wish you did something like that. Like, you need to go for it. Everyone's meant to do something. Everyone has a purpose on this world, and if you miss the opportunity, you may miss inspiring millions of people. You know what I mean? Think about that thought. Like if I didn't do dance, if I didn't do music and chose another route to go on, yes, who knows what I'll do with that route. But again, I took the jump, the leap of faith to going into it, dance being the lowest like income of occupation, you know, that whole
Right.
system, to then making something out of it, to then inspiring thousands of people, and making sometimes being looking like an idiot on Instagram. I
Yeah.
make the silliest, crustiest faces. Jim Carrey, think about his crazy self, inspired, you know. So again, stop caring what other people think. Do you how you want to do it. If you want black blood dripping out of your eyes like Billie Eilish, do it. Like, be unique, be different. Those are the things that stick out most, and those are the things sometimes most respected by anything else. Don't do the generic route of things. Yep, and then love people that you surround with, or who you're surrounding with.
Building that tribe.
Yeah, man.
Well, dude, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you so much.
You've been such a hard worker. You know, since I've met you years ago, we did that first video with me, you, and Jamie in the studio. It was like a submission video.
Oh yeah,
at
and Jake.
Nappy Tabs.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have heard.
Forgot what
So you
job
think
that
you can
was.
dance? I think it was like a submission or something.
Yeah.
To then like making
The
first music
videos
video together, and
And just to
now
see,
here, man.
you know, I remember when we were in Boston and you were telling me you were getting more heavy into music, and you played me
Yep.
Serpent on the car ride to the
Bounced
airport
that
where I
idea.
lost my passport.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and lost
That was a
my
struggle.
wallet with everything.
You gotta stop losing stuff, man. Like, from the memory card to your passport. Jesus
Two
Christ.
things. Two things. But I remember you played me Serpent then, and I was like, dude, this is like legit a real
Dude.
song.
Yeah,
Like, it's not
yeah.
just like a song like your homie
Like,
makes. It
yeah.
was like an actual catchy record.
Actual
you know?
one. Yeah,
And
man.
then
It
to
has
go-
like 90,000 views on YouTube, which is really cool right now.
Yeah, and Chris
For my
Brown liked
first-
it on
Chris
on social
Brown liked
media,
it on
yeah.
Instagram. I was like, you want to sign me, bro? Come on. What are we doing now? So, no, yeah, man.
I'm
Thank
proud of you, man.
Thank you.
You're doing great
Thank you
things,
so much.
and I know that it takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice
Mhm.
to put out that much content,
1000%.
and to not give a fuck what people think,
Yes.
and to just know that everything you're doing is a stepping stone for the next part. You know,
Mhm.
and you are inspiring people. There's
Mhm.
definitely people that might be having a shitty day, and they'll see one of your funny dances and be like, "Oh man,
And
if they can let go and have
turn the
fun in
frown
the
upside
warehouse." Yeah,
down.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Keep doing it. Thanks for
I
being
appreciate
here.
That. Absolutely. Thanks for
Cool.
having me, man.
No doubt, man.
I'm glad to be a part of this.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys do like a ending card of like, and that's
I
And
do that
that's
separately.
da-da-da. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can we try one now?
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, I want to hear what you would come up with. Let's see what Brazil would come up with as an ending card on Spy. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Thank you guys for watching the first official episode of BTS Behind the Steps. We were very fortunate to have my boy Josh Killacky here.
Aha.
This crazy motherfucker is somebody that I've known for a long time. He's very wacky. He does a lot of silly videos, but he's hardworking and he's way more talented than I think a lot of people give him credit for. He's not only a fantastic dancer, a great choreographer, a really smart social media influencer who posts consistently. And like some people get viral hits on accident, but when you get viral hits consistently, it's because you know what you're doing. It's like when you go have fun when you're bowling, and some people just kind of throw the ball randomly and get a strike. It's like anybody can like drunkenly throw a ball and get a strike. But when you're picking up spares left, right, and center, and you're consistent with it, it means that you're on top of the ball.
Dang,
you know, and
thank
you're on
you,
top of the
man.
ball when it comes to social media.
Thank you.
And that's why I wanted to have you on the show.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
because I think you're somebody who's doing it.
Yeah.
You know, you've mastered several things. You've gotten to the point to where you're successful. You make a full-time living. You can afford a house dancing.
Yeah.
You know, and now you're
Yeah.
transitioning, self-investing into your music, and now you got your deal.
Yeah.
You know, you're somebody who's consistently taking action in spite of whatever feedback you might get from haters in the industry, you know?
Dang.
Because I think a lot of people project because they're too focused on doing artsy-fartsy videos that they're mad that they didn't get the recognition that they deserve, so then they see you killing it.
Yeah.
And they try to talk shit, but they don't understand that what you're doing is real work, is real art. Like you said, Jim
Thank
Carrey.
you, man.
What
Yeah.
Jim Carrey does is the craziest, wackiest stuff, but you know, like just he just lets himself be free.
Mm-hmm.
And because he does that, he gives other people the permission to do the same. You know, what you do makes you happy, first of all.
Yep.
It makes you and your friends happy.
Mm-hmm.
It supports you guys, and it makes other people happy. And now you're just flowing with that energy onto your next
Well
art
said.
form.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to have you on here. This is Behind the Steps is about showing other people, you know, stories, examples that it's not easy. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You may have to sleep in the air mattress for a couple of years with moms while you're saving up to now.
Yep. Yeah.
Be under
Not
30
giving
with
back.
the fucking house in the pool.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it can happen if you believe in it. You can't half-ass it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the parachute only opens after you jump. You know, and when it came to your career, you took the leap. You jumped.
I love that saying. Yeah.
And now I get to just kind of watch you float around.
I'm floating. I'm still floating. But again, I'm never putting a ceiling on what we could do, you know. I may have this, but this is nothing compared to where I want to be.
Yeah, bro.
And that's where I don't think I'll ever get where I want to be.
the
but that's
first
a good
viral
thing.
dance video on the moon.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
With the
Like,
commercial.
guys,
Sponsored by Virgin Atlantic. Yeah.
here's my slow motion 15-minute video. We only do 1 to 8 count, but that's all that lasted
the moon
15
it made
minutes.
last a lot
Yeah.
longer.
That was a great ending card. Jeez, like,
Not bad.
and that.
We're probably just gonna keep that whole
Yeah,
thing.
I was like, that was phenomenal. I was like, dang, he like planned this. Jesus, awesome. Thanks, man.
man.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
again.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Shy City boys.